You see, when it comes to spirituality, manifestation, and reality control in general, many people think that it is this some kind of very difficult process, and then ironically, their subconscious mind aligns them with people, conditions, circumstances, timings, and events that further confirm this belief. However, it is truly easy when you realize this one simple mindset shift. You see the physical world around you that you've been constantly seeking to change all the time is doing something very interesting with you. And that's because the universe is inherently feminine when you think about it. Like, for example, when you try to approach a girl and you're so needy for her, then of course she's gonna run away from you. Not like literally, but metaphorically, or literally in some cases. And that's exactly what is happening when you're trying to change the universe. You're trying to change an effect by changing an effect. And the universe is quite literally running away from you because you're so needy for it. But what you only need to control is the relationship that you have with yourself. What you only need to control is the mental and emotional state that you're occupying right now, both consciously and subconsciously. Because we as humans exist on three planes of existence. There's the mental plane, the spiritual plane, and the physical plane. The mental plane are just your thoughts, beliefs, convictions, your identities that you hold about yourself and both about the world. The spiritual plane is nothing more than your connection with our infinite creator, and your emotions are also here. And the physical plane is everything that you can see around yourself. And the thing is, the mental and the spiritual planes are the planes of cause, and the physical plane is the realm of effect. But you see, the universe will try to play its, its games on you because you don't control 100% of your physical reality, right? The universe has its own laws, like, for example, the law of rhythm, the law of polarity, the law of mentalism, the law of gender. I don't know. There's a lot of them basically. So you can't control everything about the universe, but this knowledge basically puts you into a position where you are more competent in dealing with the universe because reality unfolds from you. And just take this story for example. I was once sitting, like 4 months ago, in our backyard with my family, and we were just having a blast, right? And it was around 8 p.m., so it was almost gonna be my bedtime because I love to wake up around 6 a.m. to 5 a.m. And yeah, as I was about to head to bed, my dad said, "Oh, wouldn't it be fun if we went to this restaurant at this time?" And then nothing came out of it for like the next couple of minutes. Like, no one seemed to talk about it, and I didn't care. I mean, I was down to go there, but at the same time, I didn't really care because I was having so much fun that I didn't even care about it. It was as if I was occupying the mental and emotional state that I was desiring from that restaurant at that particular moment in time. And then it happened. Like, I kid you not, like 20 minutes later, as I was, talking with my parents and we were having a blast, my dad literally said, "Okay, let's go." And then we went there. There's a very, very interesting Bible quote, and that states, "Be absent from the body and present with the Lord." And what that implies metaphysically, or esoterically, if you want to call it that, is that you need to be always present with the law, the Lord, whatever you want to call him, our infinite creator, the infinite intelligence, God, Allah, whatever term your ego prefers. And the way that you do it is by being present on the mental and on the spiritual planes. Because like I already said, the only thing that you need to control in this to con- to control reality is yourself, the relationship that you have with yourself. You don't need to control the universe. The universe will follow with you because your reality that you're occupying right now is nothing more than a one-on-one direct copy of your subconscious mind. And even funnily enough, the word reality has the word real in it, but there's nothing real about the physical world. I mean, if you want to look at it scientifically or even spiritually, we can do this right now. Like, for example, through the double slit experiment, where subatomic particles literally behave differently when they are observed, or, for example, through that scientific research that scientists did all the way back in the 19th century that stated that since our world is made out of matter, and matter is made out of particles, which are made out of subatomic particles, and those are actually made of wave potentials. That's right. We live in a universe of infinite potentiality because these waves have an have an infinite potential to be whatever it is that it can be. It can be truly anything. And the way that these waves get set in motion and actually create what it is that you want. I mean, everything is already created. You just attract it into your life through, being vibrationally aligned with it. The way that these waves are set in motion is by being in the right mental and the right emotional state. Because your mental thoughts that you think either consciously or subconsciously, the thoughts, beliefs, ideas, convictions, the identities that you hold about the world produce a small wave around you. And then what emotions do is that they supercharge that wave. And so it has an actual impact on the world. And then after you occupy this particular mental and emotional state, and you actually allow it to go into your subconscious mind as well, so it becomes like 20 times powerful all the time, then the universe has no other option but to remold itself to your liking. And at that time, I was so good with it and without it, you know, when it came to going into that restaurant, that the universe had no other option but to just attract it to me just like that. That's right. You only need to control yourself. And if we want to look at it through religious scriptures, then we can look at it from the Bible, for example, with the Bible verse, um, on earth as it is in heaven. Heaven meaning a particular state of mind where you've given yourself the mental thoughts and the emotions that you would feel upon attaining that desired reality. Or we can look at it through the Hermetic tradition, as within, as without. Pay very close attention to this. It is not as without, as within. It's as within, as without. It all unfolds from the mental and the spiritual realms. That's it. You only need to control yourself. And funnily enough, many people think that if they attained a certain reality, that they would suddenly feel different, that, they would actually get something. But believe it or not, the only reason why we do anything in in the physical world, the only reason why we actually desire anything, as a matter of fact, is because we think that it will make us feel different. You're hungry, and so you desire food, because you think that food will give you a sense of fulfillment, a sense of joy, a sense of happiness. You want a certain amount of income, but you don't actually want the money itself. You want the emotion of being free, of being at peace, of no longer having to deal with the people at work or the people at school, for example. It's all funny. But in reality, everything that you desire is nothing more, because you just want to feel different. It is not actually the thing itself. It's just that you think that it will make you feel different. It's all about the emotion behind it. And so, if you want to shift to a certain reality where your desires are fulfilled, for example, where you're making that certain income milestone, or where you're already having that romantic partner, then you need to anchor that self worth inside of yourself. You need to give yourself that peace. If you want to make that kind of money, you need to act like you already have so much money that you don't even need to make that 10K per month. But you just decide that you do it anyways because why not? You don't want to be financially dependent on anyone else. I mean, you already have the money, but you still want to make more. So here you go. But even if it doesn't materialize, whatever. I mean, there are still plenty of opportunities out there where it can materialize, right? And so you become so good with it and so good without it that it just has no other option but to materialize itself. And the way that you give it to yourself, this mental and emotional state, is to go into a deep, relaxed, meditative state where you create a scene that implies that you're already living that desired reality right now. You think the thoughts and you feel the emotions that you would feel upon attaining that desired reality. You can either do this by a person congratulating you or just, I don't know, constructing a very specific scene that already implies that you're living that life, for example. And just a little note, do not make this your safe haven. I'm warning you, because what many people tend to do in this manifestation space when they start to do this, meditation technique, is that they they treat it like a safe haven. They After they finish it, they go about reality and they still, feel the emotions that they don't desire. They still think the thoughts that they want to escape from. But that's the irony. You shouldn't you shouldn't feel them anymore. You shouldn't think them anymore. And that's because the point of that technique is to rewrite your subconscious mind, because emotion is the language of your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is the birth womb of your reality. Reality unfolds from you. That's how it's always gonna be like. And so, you shouldn't view the outside physical world as something that is separated from you, as something that is trying to hurt you, as something that is sabotaging your manifestations or whatever. No, no, no. You should already view it from the position of having your desired reality. So, how would the person in your desired reality view the world around you? What kind of thoughts, beliefs, identities, convictions, ideas, identities? I said identities twice, but whatever. What kinds of these things does he hold or she about the outside world? How do they live every single day? Just ask yourself that kind of question and answer it honestly and step into that right now. Even if you can't live it to its fullest degree, you can still live it like 20% of the time. And then as the universe starts to remold itself according to you, you can do it more and more and more until you find yourself living in it. And you will say, wait, it happened that fast? What the heck? And so, yeah, this is how you do it. This is why controlling reality is so easy. And if you're still skeptical that your mind doesn't control your reality, just think about it like this. Just pick one belief that you hold about the world, that you're so convinced of that no one can convince you otherwise. Like, for example, that money is scarce. When I say that money is abundant, and there are people out there who are 15 years old and are making $100,000 per month, and if they looked, and if they, and if your consciousness got swapped with theirs, and they were suddenly in charge of your life, then they would be able to fix it and actually start to make that 100K per month again, literally just by purely embodying that frequency of making 100K per month. Just listen to the thoughts and the emotions that instantly arise when you confront that belief. Because, like I already said, emotion is the language of your subconscious mind. Whatever has a strong emotional charge will be true to your subconscious mind. And there are no truths in reality other than what your subconscious mind has accepted as a truth. It doesn't matter if that emotion is positive or negative or neutral, it will always go into your subconscious mind. And then your subconscious mind will birth it into reality, and then you will call yourself right. See, I knew that I wouldn't make 100K per month. See, I knew that getting that person was completely impossible. She was always out of my league. You will start to think these things. But the irony is, the only thing that you need to control in this world, in this entire universe, is yourself. The thoughts that you think, the emotions that you feel, and the physical action that you take based on your intuition. That's all that you need to do. Just confront those beliefs and actually ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Is it something that I made up myself? Or is it something that came from the outside world? Think about it. They say that the language of the subconscious mind is a repetition, but no, it's emotion. A person needs to be traumatized once for their entire paradigm to shift. That's how this works. So yeah, get to work, my timeless reader. And by the way, if you're more interested and want to go more in depth into manifestation and about timeless and practical mindsets that you can implement into your day-to-day life that will just improve your life for the better, then you can check out my Timeless Readers Mindsets in the description. It's something life-changing, and just look at these people. They've benefited so much from me, and they haven't even seen a single life lesson from that course. But no pressure, of course. It is just something that if you grow to like me, then you can buy it. And so yeah, take care, my timeless reader, and take action on all three planes of existence, okay?